you'll find a file in Poland Pickup called Nuts. It's an Illustrator file. You can open that in Illustrator, and if you'll do a Command 0, that will, well, I thought it would bring it to 100%. Maybe you have to open it a little bit wider to bring it to full screen. There we go. That's what you have to do. Expand it a little bit and then do a Command 0, and it'll bring it to full screen to where you can see the entire thing. So this is a box, a container of this fake product called mixed nuts. And we're going to work on putting in some text and using different methods to do that. So the first thing that we're going to do once you have your file open is we're going to make sure that we are on the correct layer. So if you'll expand your panels over at the right hand side and make sure that you are on the artwork layer. That's the one you want to be on. The rest of them are locked. So from there, we're going to want to choose our type tool right over there. That's the T on the toolbar. And there's two types of ways that you can put in type. You can do a point click, which is what we're going to do here, or you can do an area type tool, which we'll do in a little while. So the point click or point type, all you do is point and click and you see the cursor. So once you see the cursor, go ahead and type in nuts with a Z provides energy to get you through the day. Now, while you're in that text box, you could Command A to select all of it, but if you triple click, that will select the whole line of text as well. Now, we have up here our control panel, and you do see controls up here for text. You also know that we have, under the window menu, we have type and character. But what you probably didn't know is this right here is a link to that character panel. So if you click on it, it drops it down and brings it to you. We're going to keep with the Myriad Pro font, but we're going to change the style of it to bold and italic right down here. And we're going to change the font size to 18 point. Then we're going to go over here to our color, and we're going to change the color of it to white to make it easier to see. And once you do that, you can go ahead and click outside of it and use the arrows on your keyboard to bring it down onto the image. So here it says Nuts provides energy to get you through the day. Now, Nuts is the name of a fictional company, and because it is a company, it should have the registered trademark symbol next to it. That's the R with the circle around it. So if we double click in here and put our cursor, our blinking cursor right after the Z in Nuts, we're going to go ahead and put in that symbol. And we have to go to Type and Glyphs in order to find this. Glyphs are symbols that aren't necessarily normal parts of the alphabet or numbering system, and it shows whatever font you're in. If we scroll down a little bit, we will find the R with the circle around it. So here is trademark, here is the registered trademark. And I know that that's very small, but if you double click on it, you'll be able to see that there. And if I close Glyphs and if I zoom in, whoops. Let me go over. See how it has that R with the circle around it? That is the registered trademark symbol. Okay? Now, we are going to use paragraph formatting. So unlike character formatting, paragraph formatting can only be applied to one or more paragraphs at a time. You can't apply a paragraph formatting attribute to a single word. It's the whole paragraph or it's nothing. Okay, so the key factor with paragraph forming is a hidden character within a body of text that defines how the end of one paragraph and the beginning of another work together. So make sure you can see your whole panel again. This time we're going to use the type tool to do the area type box. And we're going to put it right here underneath the nutrition. So I'm going to make it, whoops, let me click out of that and click that again because I think I accidentally selected that. So I'm going to go right under here and I want it to be right there. Okay, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to do a file in place. And in Poland Pickup, there is some more files that you can use for this. For this one, it's going to be file in place, which you should recognize from the different programs in Design and Photoshop. I have mine on my desktop right now, and it is the ingredients.txt file. Go ahead and click place. We're going to use the default import options, and here we have some ingredients that show up. Now we're going to make some changes to this, so let's go ahead and do a Command A. And actually I'm looking at this and my text box is a little small and it doesn't show everything that's in there, so I'm going to expand it a little bit before I do a Command A. There we go. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to change, using my control panel up here, it's going to be Myriad Pro still, but we're going to use bold and condensed. Okay, and that changes the appearance of it. I'm going to decrease the font size to an 8-point. I am going to change the color of the text to white. And I'm actually going to make this all uppercase. And I'm going to do that by going to the Type menu. Whoops. Let me select that again. Type menu, there we go. And change case, and I'm going to change it to uppercase. Okay, and it gives it a different appearance. And then I'm going to come up here to paragraph, and this again pops up the paragraph panel when I click on this link. And we have all of our different justifications. The normal one that things are usually on is just align left. However, you have align center, align right, and then you have these 4 that are justified. So this justified one aligns both the left and the right edge, except for the last line. It'll let the last line not spread out so much. Okay, so you see how that works. That's the one that we're choosing. All right, now the formatting is done for that one, so you can click outside of it. And if your text box like mine is too big for the space, you can adjust it and bring that text box up so that it fits just in that area. All right, now we're going to view full screen again. I've got the Command 0, and we're going to do another area type box. So I'm going to choose my type tool, and it's going to be in this area over here. What I'm going to do is I'm just simply going to click and drag to make a type box like that. And we want to select it so that we can precisely position and size this box. So if you look up here in the controls, you have your XY coordinates. Remember, that's the position. Right now mine are in inches, and that's because that's what my ruler is set at. If I want to change this to point, I can control click on the ruler and I can change it to point, and now it says point in here as well. Okay, and we can toggle back and forth throughout a document, so you don't have to stay with one. The X coordinate is going to be 1148. The Y coordinate is going to be 425 point. The width of it is going to be 450 point, and then the height is going to be 550 50 point. Okay, so that takes up more or less the middle of this side of the box. All right, we're not done yet though, because we want the text that is going to be in this column to actually span 2 columns. So we're going to go to the Type menu, Area Type Options, and it's going to pop up with this box. Now, because we changed this to point, in here is point as well. Okay, so I want to change the number to 2 columns right here. Not rows, I want columns. Now, by default, it automatically assumes however many points you want. And I do want you to know that if I wanted something to be 3 inches, I can type in 3in. Oops, I didn't mean to hit enter to hit OK. Let me do that again. 3in, and that makes it transposes the inches into points. So that's what that was. The gutter, I want to be 0.25 in, and it makes it go to 18 points. So that was the default setting anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK now. And we are going to click in the top left corner of the text area with the type tool. So I'm going to click right up there. See how my cursor is right there? And notice that right down here in my panels, I'm right on this layer, and I can see I'm on that type layer because how it has that double circle on it. Okay. And now I'm going to do a File and Place, and I'm going to choose the file of nuts.txt. I'm going to use the default settings, and it did not go in to the text box. So let me make sure that I have my cursor in there. I think I do. Let me place it one more time. File, Place. There we go. All right, so if your text does not go into 2 columns, that means that you didn't have your cursor in the correct place. So we'll need to do a Command A on this because you can't really see the text. And the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and make this white for the time being so that we can work with it. Okay, so here is your text. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom in a little bit so we can see this text box up close and better. And we're going to highlight the first line of type, the benefit of nuts, because this is one of the headings of this panel of text. And we're going to change the font size to 18 point. And we also want to change the style to bold. There we go. We're staying with Myriad Pro though. All right, now we're going to click here in this first paragraph. And we need to go to that paragraph link again to pull up the paragraph panel. And we're going to do justify with the last line aligned left again, same one we did earlier. Okay, so now you can see the justification except for the last line. And then we're going to set the spacing after the paragraph, and that's this one here, to 8 point. Okay, so that puts into where you can see the definite paragraph break there. All right, now instead of having to do these same formatting throughout here, this is where we want to go ahead and pull in paragraph and character styles because it allows us to define all of the properties for a paragraph and apply it to each one of them, and it makes it much easier. And you'll go on with that in the next video.